Welcome to the Franchise Show. I hope you're all doing well and you've had a good day. As you can see, at the moment, it's just me. This was going to happen at some point. So I hope there are some other people here. Otherwise, it's just going to be me banging on, and we don't need that. We should have a lovely guest joining us fairly soon, I hope. Um, Anyway, I always like to start with explaining what the franchise show is all about. And the franchise show is, as you can imagine, about franchising. But it's also about a heck of a lot more than that. It's about being a franchisee or a franchisor, or if you're in that decision making process somewhere in between the two and you're deciding which franchise you want to go for, or you're deciding maybe to franchise your own business, then it's a show hopefully that will help you with that decision, and help you think of some questions, and you make that decision. Oh, look, we have a guest. Thank goodness for that. Oh, Danny, if I could hug you, Danny, I would be hugging you, Danny, right now.
You're quite welcome, Harvey. I'm always happy to help, and it's always a pleasure to chat with you. So,
it's a pleasure to chat with you. I was just in the middle of banging on like I normally do at the beginning, awkwardly trying to cover up the fact that it was just me at that moment. But it's so good to have you here. Yes, so I was saying about what the franchise show is. And we created it to have a safe space for discussion and debate, and to bring topics to the forefront that people perhaps might not talk about, or that really do need bringing to the forefront. Each week we have a new topic, or a topic we've done before, and we have a lovely guest. And it's a live show, so we encourage people to comment where they can, and we will definitely try and bring those comments up onto the screen where we can, if the technology works. And it really does help drive the conversation. So please feel free to comment where you can. Now, as I say, each week we have a topic. Today's topic is communication. And now I spoke about live shows and the joy of live shows. The other side of live shows is sometimes things don't quite go according to your plan. And this was one of those days. As people know, if they've registered to attend, the lovely Ben Baker was due to be here, but things get confusing across the old pond when we have the time differences, and it was one of those. So we have the equally wonderful and returning guest, may I say, Danny Wareham. And I cannot thank you enough, Danny. With 2 hours notice to be able to do this for me, you are a true friend, and I really, really appreciate it. Otherwise, it would have just been me chatting, and I wouldn't have enjoyed that.
and that'd be ironic given its communication as today's subject, wouldn't it?
But I'm going to tell you something, right? Because I was nervous that might happen, right? Look, I had another hat, right? And I would have been talking to myself and then switching hats and answering the questions. I think it would have been fine. No one would have called for any medical assistance for me.
No, you'd have made it work. You've made it work.
Maybe. Anyway, perhaps we could start by introducing yourself again, and a little bit about your experience and what you do for some new people who haven't yet been here.
Of course. So thank you for inviting me. Yes, it was short notice, but it's always a pleasure to be part of these, Harvey. My name's Danny Wareham. I'm a organizational psychologist, which is slightly different to many of the guests that we have, who are very firmly have feet in the franchise or franchisee world. And my background and my specialty is all around culture and creating the environment where people can contribute purposefully without fear of ridicule or reprimand. So how do you create the environment, the behaviors, the approaches, the decision making that align with your organizational strategy and help you be successful? And obviously communications is a big part of that, because every business, it doesn't matter whether it's a traditional corporate, a small business, or a franchise, is a people business. And you have to have some way for people to relate together, to create the right behaviors, to create the right performances. And communications, for better or worse, is the lubricant that allows that to happen.
No, fantastic. And yeah, I think it's so important to be able to communicate properly. And, you know, some of the problems that happen when you don't communicate things properly can be really serious in an organization, can't they, Danny?
They can. George Bernard Shaw famously said that the biggest problem with communication is the illusion it's taken place. You
Yeah.
know, what you say or what you write or what you convey will have one motive behind it and one context and one content. But that then is kind of wobbled through the prism of my biases and my experiences, and that can change the interpretation of what's said. And I, I,
Danny,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt you. We
mhm.
appear to not be live on LinkedIn.
Okay,
So I'm not quite sure what's happening here. So I'm going to end this one,
and we'll start again.
and we're going to start again. I will give you a message. We'll probably start 15 minutes late.
Okay,
It's just one of those days, my friend.
so I take no fear.
I'm going to try and work out what's happening.
Okay, and so you're showing live, but yeah,
It says pre-live on the thing. I
that's
don't.
right. You get it sorted. You get it
Yeah.
sorted. It's
Okay.
cool.
All right. Speak to you in a bit.
Bye bye.
Yes.